am. I am a student coordinator this year for new student orientation. I am a senior biology major with a concentration in cell and molecular biology and genetics. I'm from Newcastle, Delaware. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I was a commuter student my first 2 years before I moved on to campus. So I have a bit of experience in terms of living off campus. I like to call myself the guru of parking because I've done everything with parking. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat throughout the day. Meg and I, we've done this presentation a few times now, so we're pretty much experts on this. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them in the chat. We'll have time for questions at the end, but if it's something that comes up, we'll make sure to touch on it.
Great. So I think we're ready to get started. So here's just a quick little video about being a commuter student and living off campus.
The first thing I wish I knew is I wish I knew there were more commuter students out there like myself. And I wish I knew how easy it was to be a commuter and how you're really not an outcast here on campus. Yeah, a lot of students do live on campus or semi-off campus, but your college experience is what you make of it. It really isn't defined by living on campus or not living on campus. If you want to get involved, you can definitely do that. If you don't have to as well. So I think being a commuter student, you really have a lot more leeway and more control over how you want to kind of shape your college experience here at UD.
Ooh. Sorry, everybody. There we go.
Yeah. All right, so UD has a bunch of transportation options for all students, but there's specifically ones that we like to highlight for people that are commuting, living off campus in any way. So first, if you plan on having a bike on campus, we recommend that you register it. This is both with UD Parking Services as well as UD PD. It's really important to do this because if your bike gets stolen or misplaced somehow, sometimes it might end up in a place where you didn't necessarily leave it. They are able to track it and know that it is your bike and able to contact you so you can get your property back. Also, for parking permits, you can purchase one at this website that you see on your screen now. You will log in with your affiliated UD login, and you're able to put in your information and everything and get that all sorted out. We also have a really, really, really great shuttle system here on campus. So the photo that you see on your screen now is of the app icon for the Double Map app. That's what we use for live tracking of all of our buses. So our shuttles run from 5:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. So whether you are an early bird or you have a late lab, there is an option for you to get around campus safely, and also just kind of as a icing on the cake, our bus drivers are super, super nice. I love them so much. They always make my day. So yes, we also do have those shuttles. And UD is also a really walkable campus. I mean, even, with our Laird campus or our North campus and South campus, where like our stadium and the farm is, it's only about a 15-20-minute walk to get to Central Campus, no matter kind of where you are. So if there's always an option to walk. Personally, I've never had a bike on campus. I've kind of used the shuttles every once in a while, but I love walking. The weather is always good. So yeah. And this is just some screenshots actually of my phone of what the Double Map app looks like, just so you can get a better understanding. So as you can see, these are showing two different lines and they're all color coded, which is super great. And then you can see the buses exactly where they are and kind of where they're heading. And on the screenshot to the left, you see those little black dots. So those are different bus stops around campus. And it's super interesting because when you click on them, it'll show you a breakdown of when the buses will get there, for all buses running on the shuttle, what's the word called? Path?
The loop?
The loop, there we go. So it'll be like one bus is arriving in 3 to 5 minutes, another one in 7 or 8 minutes. And the buses are free to all students. Great question. The buses are free. You don't even need to show your UD ID. As long as you're there, they will pick you up and they will keep following along the route. So it's super, super helpful.
And now we have a short video about navigating parking if you choose to bring a car to campus.
Well, most students don't seem to have a problem with parking because
look at all these spaces.
I choose the CFA parking lot because it's just really close for my classes.
But it's not for everyone. I use the red parking lot on South Campus because it allows me to easily go to my practices in the field house. Plus, I can also easily shuttle up to Central Campus for my classes.
And I choose the North Campus because my house is actually closest to that spot. And just as she said, I can easily take the shuttle bus down to campus, and it's super easy and really nice.
Awesome. So there in that video, they talked about different options for where you can park if you decide to bring your car to campus. And this photo on the side kind of shows a diagram of where those lots are laid out. So there are 3 different parking options for you on campus. And when you register and purchase your parking pass, you can choose from these 3 different options. So we have the red lots, and those are on North or Laird campus and then South campus. And those are going to be kind of like the farther away parking areas on campus. Of course, like the one student mentioned, if your house is maybe closer to those lots, maybe you'll choose that so you can park, and then you'll take the bus to Central Campus. So it's really up to whatever you would like. And then the gray lots are a little bit closer to the center of campus. They're gray on this map. And then the parking garages are what are most central to campus. And you'll see them here on the map. And they do vary in price depending on the type. So the farther away your lot allotment is from the center of campus, the less expensive it's going to be. So the red lots are the least expensive, and then the parking garages are the most expensive. However, many lots around campus do become unrestricted between 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. So let's say you have a red lot pass, but you have a club that meets on Central Campus at 8 p.m. Well, you can park in a parking garage that might be really close to there, and you won't have any sort of tickets or anything like that because the lot is unrestricted as long as you have a parking pass. All right, and here is another video on using resources on campus.
One of the things that I used was kind of group study spaces. So usually I'm a type of person where I like to be I usually would go to my room if that was a possibility, but since I was on campus, it was easier to find study group spots, whether it be in Perkins or in Trabant, or even in empty classes when there aren't classes in session in that room. And that was something that I found that I actually used to my advantage.
Yeah, so as she said in the video, there are a bunch of spaces all throughout campus that students can use at their disposal to find a space for them. So study spaces, like she said, are available pretty much anywhere. There are designated study spaces like in our student lounge or student centers or in some academic buildings, but there's also empty classrooms if that's something that you want to take advantage of. So really anywhere you can study can become a study space. We also have lockers available to rent in our Trabant Student Center. It is fairly cheap. I'm pretty sure it's only like $10 for the entire year that students can use to kind of have something on campus that they can like store their stuff in. Also, the photo on up top shows our Carpenter Sports Building, which is kind of like our gym or our recreational center on campus. A lot of community students a lot of students that live off campus don't take advantage of this because it's kind of like you can, go home, or maybe there's a gym closer to home, and but it's a great place that you can meet new people. They have fitness classes. There is a rock climbing wall that's always a big hit. So going there, getting your exercise in, but also meeting some new people is a great opportunity for students. We also have Morris Library, which is our library on campus. It is a place where students can go and study. I love going to the library. It's my favorite place on campus. Like I said, we have student centers on campus that students can take advantage of. There's also so many opportunities for on-campus employment. And lastly, we have meal plans and dining options specific to commuter students that you can take advantage of.
And I was so excited to talk about them that I just clicked before I was supposed to. So, like Sunit said, we do have special dining plans for our students who live off campus. And one of those options, or one of those types of options, is the block plan, which you see on the screen. And so the block plan gives you 125, 80, or 35 meals per semester. And it kind of breaks it down in this image by week. And those meal swipes can get you into the dining halls, which are all you care to eat. So you can go in and eat as much as you'd like, but we also do have a meal exchange. So after 5 p.m., you can use a meal swipe to get food from our locations on campus that use Grubhub, which we can go into a little bit later. But they also give points, which are dollar for dollar as an exchange to be able to be spent on our locations on campus, like Chick-fil-A, Dunkin' Donuts, things like that, that aren't an all you care to eat facility and that are more like retail oriented. And a bonus that you get when you use points as opposed to just using a credit card, a debit card, or cash is that you do get a 10% discount on any purchase that you make with points. And all of these meal plans do also come with guest meals. So let's say a family member or a friend wants to come to campus and eat with you. You can use those guest meals for them. And then we also have plans that are all points. So if you know that you're someone who maybe won't always have time to eat at one of the larger dining halls, that's all you care to eat, or maybe you know, like, you love Einstein bagels, so that's where you're going to be going. You can get an all points plan because you'll be putting all of these points towards those locations on campus. You can use points as well to get into the all you care to eat facilities, but it's not going to be a one-to-one. It's going to be, I can't remember exactly. Sneak, do you know exactly how many points it is to get into a dining hall?
So it depends. I believe it's the same as the cost of the dining hall. So it varies whether you're going for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but it's somewhere between that $9 and $12 range. So it's 9 to 12 points.
Awesome. Thanks, Neat. And like I said before, you do get that 10% discount on purchases that you make with points. And then finally, you can get these add-ons to any meal plan that you choose. So you can add Good Uncle dollars, and Good Uncle is kind of like a DoorDash kind of vibe where you can get food delivered to you. And then you could also add a home chef voucher to any plan. So if you all have heard of like HelloFresh, Home Chef is really similar. They'll give you all the ingredients to make a meal. So let's say like you don't have time to go to the grocery store, but you don't necessarily want to eat out, you want to cook at home. You can add the Home Chef vouchers to get those as well. And then you can also add points to any plan. So if you get an all points plan, or if you get one that has swipes and points, you can always add on if you feel like you are running low. And now we've got a video about making friends.
Making friends is going to be really tough. Like I'm not gonna paint it pink or anything like that. So one of the things is just you kind of have to put yourself out there, kind of reach outside of your box. And I think that, you know, sometimes a little bit of luck comes along, and that's when you start making those friendships. So basically trying to do the best you can, just see what other people are interested in and seeing if it meshes with what your interests are. That's one way to start. I know for me, I had someone who kind of took me under their wing and they introduced me to intramural volleyball, and that's where I met actually a lot of people, and I actually became friends with a lot of grad students. So it's not something conventional, but that's one of the ways I connected on campus, and I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah, so Sophia kind of touched on it in the video, but oftentimes for students that live off campus, there feels like there's this invisible barrier that they have to break through where, they might not feel fully involved or a part of campus life because they don't live here. But it's really important that we kind of stress to everyone that with proper planning and like managing your time and your commitments, that is definitely possible. There are so many ways to get involved on campus socially, not just academically. So we just kind of have a few of them on the screen here. So Blue Hen Leadership Program, or BHLP, is a great program for all students, no matter what year you're coming into university as. It's a way to get involved onto campus, to meet people, but also gain some really important leadership skills while you're here. We also have our registered student organizations, or our RSOs, which are our school clubs at UD, and we have over 400. So if there's something that you're interested in, there's probably a club for students just like you who like those same things. You can take advantage of them. We have everything from identity-based multicultural clubs to a lettuce eating club and a squirrel watching club. So I promise you there is some way for you to get involved. We also have fraternity and sorority leadership and learning. So something we like to say about this is that it's a presence, not a pressure, in the sense that there are a lot of students here at UD that are a part of Greek life. We have about 27% of our student population a part of some Greek affiliate organization, but it's not a necessity to have fun here or to kind of find your people while on campus. So if it's something you're interested in, by all means, please take advantage of it. It's there for your disposal, but it's not something that you need to feel pressured to be a part of. We do have club and intramural sports. So if you have played sports in high school or at a previous institution and you don't necessarily want to do it at a D1 level again, you can always take advantage of it here at UD. So intramural sports kind of they are like small groups throughout campus that compete against each other, whereas our club sports go around and compete with other schools in the area. So again, if that's something you're interested in, like Sophia said in the video, that's how she met a lot of her friends here. So if you love sports, by all means, take advantage of it. And kind of at the end, we like to plug it, our 1743 Fall Involvement Fair. This is where you'll find out about all these different opportunities on campus. So we have a street here at UD called Academy. We'll have it completely shut down. It'll be your stereotypical college fair. All of our clubs and organizations will be on the road with their booths set up, and you can go and talk to real students that are part of these clubs. Sometimes it's as simple as putting your name on an email list to get involved. So definitely taking advantage, making sure to go to 1743 in the involvement fair, but also all of the other events that are planned throughout the day is super, super important. And we cannot stress it enough how great it is to kickstart your university year, taking advantage of it.
Definitely. And now we're going to watch a short little video about how commuter students are spending their time outside of the classroom.
Because I'm really involved on campus, I usually try to go home as often as I can just to give myself some type of break after class. I kind of scheduled out my classes mostly so that they're in the morning, and then that way, once those classes are done in the early, middle afternoon, I can just head on home and grab some dinner and then come back to campus for whatever evening activities that I may have. But if I do have to be here all day, I have found the best places to go are usually at Perkins. My club office is right in the bottom floor, so I just like to hang out with my friends there if I have to stay on campus all day.
Great. And then after that, we've got another little video with our friends talking about how they balance all their different responsibilities as a student living off campus.
Did I balance it? I don't know. That's a great question. No social life. Just kidding.
Well, if you ask my mom, I didn't, but it's definitely really hard at first. It takes a while to get used to, but I think the best way to do that is to make a planner, some kind of schedule, and really follow it. You just have to be really committed and get your priorities straight.
And so with living off campus or commuting to campus, there might be different dynamics within your family. So whether you're a family member or you're a student in this session, something that we like to emphasize is keeping open lines of communication. If you are a student who is commuting from home where you're with your family, there might be different expectations and boundaries that you want to set with them. Like the one student had said, they spend a lot of time on campus, so maybe they don't have a lot of time to be at home. And so household dynamics might change with what chores they're able to do, if they're able to watch their younger siblings and things like that. So just keeping that in mind. And then for families, it's really important to remember to support your student in that. They are still a college student, and I think keeping that sense of, they are going to want to explore campus and make connections here, and supporting them and being able to do that. And part of that is knowing your student's schedule. If your student has a lot of classes and they have clubs that meet at night, maybe they'll stay on campus all day and you won't see them again until 9 p.m. And that's totally normal. And something that we say all the time is that the first 6 weeks of the school year are crucial for building relationships. So this might be a time where, as a student living off campus, you are on campus almost all day, or that your student is on campus almost all day, just trying to meet new people and make friends and figure out what it means to be a UD student. Awesome. And along with that, here are some students talking about important conversations to have.
Definitely just have a conversation with your family about, making it clear that you're going to be busy because, since you're commuting, you're going to have to be out and about, traveling from the campus back, going to different, social events, attending the different meetings, going to different, study hours. So I think that's just an important conversation personally for me to have with your family, just so, they're on the same page and, they're not concerned about where you are or what you're doing, and etc.
All right, and then here is a video with the students discussing some challenges they face with their family.
I think my family expected me to be home a lot more often than I was. Even though I do commute and I do live at home, it's just, I loved being on campus and being involved on campus, and I think that was something that they were not expecting. So a lot of times my mom would be like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to be on campus all day today. Sorry, I'll be home tomorrow. See you in the morning." And that was just something we kind of had to work out, and they finally had more realistic expectations of when they would see me and when they wouldn't see me, depending on how busy I was going to be within work, school, or my social life.
All right, so just some next steps for all of you. If you are a first-year student or the family or support systems for a first-year student, please have them go on their My Housing portal to complete the first-year commuter request form. It is mandatory at UD that all first-year students live on campus unless they complete this request form. So please, please, please do this as soon as you can. If you could do it today, even better. It's just a way to verify that student matches the stipulations to be able to commute from wherever they're commuting from. But also for everyone here, all students that are on this call, or if there's a family member on this call, please, please, please go to 1743 Welcome Days, tell them about 1743 Welcome Days. The QR code we have on the screen now is for our guidebook app, which will hold kind of like the schedule of events for all that's happening during 1743 Welcome Days. So go there, meet people. My favorite thing that always happens is the Twilight induction ceremony, where all first year students will be out on the green. Everyone will get a candle and kind of light their way into the beginning of their UD journey. It's super fun. We have a lot of guest speakers. The president will come and speak, but also it's the first and last time that the entire class will be together. I didn't go to my 1743 Welcome Days, or my Twilight induction ceremony, and I regret it. So I always try to tell people, make sure to go out if you can. But again, all the information can be found on the guidebook app that's on the screen now.
Awesome. I'll give y'all a second to scan that if you would like. All right, and here is a cute little video about being a proud blue hen.
What makes me proud to be a blue hen? There's so much. Definitely the friends that the school has provided me. I've met some amazing people here, very motivated and inspiring. Definitely the different organizations and clubs I'm part of, and just the different resources, because I know freshman year I struggled a lot with my major personally, and then I know career services at the University of Delaware, they helped me find the right major, and now I'm succeeding a lot more academically and just overall. So it definitely makes me proud to be a blue hen, that I'm at a place where I can be my true self and achieve the most that I can.
All right, so thank y'all so much for attending. We are gonna have a moment to take some questions. I did see a question in the chat about where to find this information afterwards. So we are recording this session and it is going to be put on the Canvas module. It should be for NSO Summer 2022 if you're a student, and we should also be uploading these to the Blue Hen Family Hub if you are a family member or a support system for a student. So you should be able to go back and access this recording at any time. If you do have any more questions that come up, you can always contact us at otp@udel.edu. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and give an opportunity to ask questions. We are still recording the session, so if you feel more comfortable just leaving your camera off, if you want to unmute yourself, you can, or you can put questions in the chat. I did also see the question about the parking map, so I will put a link to it in the chat so you can access it again.
And just as y'all are, thinking of your questions, I always like to tell people this, it's my one little cheat sheet. But if you're looking for anything that has to do with the university, I know it seems weird to say Google it, but if you type in UDel and then whatever it is you're looking for into Google, so for the parking passes, say, you can type in UDel parking, the first link will always be exactly what you're looking for. I don't know what kind of magic they're working over there in Google, but it always works when you type UDel, whatever it is. So save that in your little head for later. You might need it like 3 years down the line when you're trying to figure out what you need to graduate and you're like, what am I? UDel graduation, it'll tell you everything, I promise.
I think that's a really good tip, Sneet. I have used that. I just started working at the university and that has been my lifesaver. So, and we did get a question in the chat about finding the Blue Hen Family Hub. So I will put a link to that as well. And I'll also attach the email. So for our families and support systems, they can email our parents and family office, families@udel.edu. So I'll put that in the chat as well, just in case you have more questions about anything. They're always willing to help. And we'll give one more moment just in case you all think of any questions. All right. Well, thank you all so much for attending today. I hope that we were able to give you all some good information about living off campus and what that's like. I will put our office email in the chat again. So if you ever want to reach out, that is a really great way to reach our office. But you all are free to go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Bye, everyone.